Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, we have the best layup packages for every build in NBA 2K25. So, shout out to 2K, they allowed me to play the game 24 hours early as part of the early creator tip-off. So, here we are, I've accumulated all of these ratings of mine. As you can see, we have a letter grade on all types of layup styles. So, like for instance, with Giannis, we have an A- on his X button layups. We have a B+ on his hops. His spins are trash. We have it at an F. That is rare on this list to have things at an F. And I'll show you a lot of these specific animations that I really want to detail in actual gameplay in a second. But I just wanted you to be able to take in everything that you care to see early in the video. But moving along, like, you know, we have an A on his Euro, a B on his floater, and a B+ on his scoop. Some of these we have a double A+ on. Like, for instance, Harden's Euro is still really good in the game. So we have a double A+ on that. Trey's floater is really good. You're going to see me really like Trey Young as far as the small guards go for the layup packages. Good X button lay, good scoop, good float, all that. He's probably the only one we're actually going to showcase. You're going to have to take my word for it on some of this. Like, I noted that the X button for Russell Westbrook's layup has been changed. It's not really good anymore, in my opinion. His floater is okay. That's about it. Ja, he turns like X buttons into floaters. It's a really weird sort of deal. Lillard was okay. It's like second to Trey, but honestly, Trey requires only an 80 layup anyway. So if you're going to be a small guard, I think Trey Young's the way to go regardless. I think it's really, really good. As far as the wings go, Booker was way too inconsistent with the floater. I didn't even like it anymore, personally. I didn't think the animation's really even that good. I think you're going to find a lot of utility out of like LaMelo Ball, for instance, or even Levine as an overall layup package is really good. His Euro is still good, 100%. Kobe, overall, decent layup package. You can see I have like the scoop, the Euro, the X button, all decent, the hop, the spin. It's an overall, like I said, very good layup package. It's lacking the floater though, a little bit. But yeah, I would say if you're looking for a good floater package with the wings, there's not a ton to pick from, it feels like, but LaMelo and Levine are both, like, I would say serviceable, decent. You know, not crazy range broken like some of these big man floaters are, but they're good like speed and kind of what you wanted out of Booker last year anyway. So I don't have a definitive best one for the wings. It's more up to preference and what style you like. If you like that Euro dunk, Euro layup stuff, Harden is going to be really good. But LaMelo is a little bit more affordable. It's only 80. I believe Harden's like 82, 83. And then same with, like, I tested out DeRozan. He was okay. It had that crazy Euro even still, but it's hard to trigger sometimes. But yeah, overall, I would say it's kind of hit or miss with the wings. There's not a ton to pick from. With the bigs, there's a lot to pick from. I think all four of these are really good packages in their own way. Jokic has a really consistent, great floater animation. So does Vucevic. I have them both as A+, and they're very, very good. Vuce has some more like utility into his game a little bit. I think his X buttons are better. Jokic, also, his Euros are terrible, but here's the problem. Vucevic has really bad spins. So again, we're going to detail a lot of these. I'll probably get to a lot of the big man ones because they're worth talking about. I don't know what we're going to do for the wings, and then for the guards, I'm going to show Trey Young. So I'll probably show LaMelo and Levine for the wings, maybe the Harden Euro as well, just to detail that. And then, like I said, I'll only show Trey, and then I'll probably show most of the bigs. So let's go left to right. We'll start with Trey Young, and then go from there. Also, in case you guys didn't know, I'm pairing with NBA 2K Labs again this year. So you can use my code Laker at checkout for 20% off of any subscription link that you decide to go for. Obviously, what you're going to find on here is going to be really useful information that we're showing all across the whole screen right now, but mainly to be talked about is obviously the Jumpshot data. So the guys are cool enough to let me show you the information from the 2K24 premium jumper data. If you want the access to the 25 year, you'd obviously have to subscribe to their premium and, you know, using my code as well if you would like. But as you can see, like, we have them sorted by speed right here. You can sort by every one of these different individual categories right here between the fastest millisecond jump shots. You can sort that by your individual height between the guards, wings, and bigs. You can sort by speed, green window, the early, middle, and late end of the green window as well, and then the total accumulation of all of that. And I mean, that's how I came to the conclusion that Terrence Mann was a really good base last year, combining all that information. Crazy stuff. So again, to be able to find something like this in 25, you would be able to just sign up for the premium. So what you're going to do when you're ready to sign up, you would just come over here and click register with whatever length of subscription you'd like to go for. After you hit register, it'll ask you to put in a promo code. You just put in Laker when you hit apply coupon right here, and boom, you're looking good. With code Laker, you're going to get 20% off your subscription. If you guys would like to help me out, I get a percentage based off your initial purchase only. So a recurring bill, like if you get a 1 month subscription, I only get the 1 month that you sign up for initially, and then anything past that, I don't. So if you do plan to go for like a 3 or a 6 or even a year-long subscription, feel free to just, you know, do that if you want to support poor me, but I understand not everybody wants to go for that, so it's all good if you don't. Anyway, appreciate you guys for watching. Let's get back to the video. All right, so as y'all can see, we have a lot of different like my players and stuff here. I was testing out all types of different animations. I pretty much just copy and pasted everybody over and then just changed their animation. That's it, you know, just change the layup. So with Trey Young right here, like I said, his floater, really good. I have the layup timing off just so that no variance was really like up to play. I wouldn't just, you know, be able to be like, oh, this guy's layup is trash. Meanwhile, it's just me mistiming it. So I just wanted to leave things, no variable, you know, leave it all standard. And I gotta say, Trey Young has some fire animations, bro. His dribble style is great. His layup is great. I mean, man, I'm sure his dribble pull-up is still good, but yeah, as you can see, I'm getting the same animation every single time. You can even get it going to the other hand as well. So for instance, if I go to the right hand, I can still get a good floater animation every time, every animation. It is just a beautiful floater. It all works out super good. So if you are someone, and yes, there is variance like that, you're gonna see it with every single layup, and I'll tell you what, but I'm telling you, this Trey Young stuff is really good. And yes, that is variance right there as well. But either way, still just wanted to show you that the Trey Young floater is really good. It even still has a decent X button. As you can see, that's his X button right there. It's not even a scooper. I didn't scoop or anything. Literally just X button lay. Like that's also X right there. So again, a little bit of variance here and there, but I'd like to think this is a really good one. You're gonna see his scoop right here as well. Decent, very good. So overall, Trey Young, 80 requirement, small guard. I mean, man, this is it for you, in my opinion. There's a scoop again. So that's it for the guards. Like I said, that's all we're going to show. Let's skip over to the wings now. All right, so in this case, we used LeBron, and I just copied over everybody. So now we have, like, you know, all types of different layup packages from Booker to LaMelo Ball to the Zach LaVine that's buried somewhere in here. Oh, no, he's at the top. All right, so on to the Zach LaVine. Once again, you know, we're here to showcase his Euro dunk. So I'd like to think a lot of these animations, it doesn't give you the same thing every time. Like I said, I'm also not great at it yet. Like, obviously, there's some perfection to be done with this, but the Euro dunk overall is really good. However, it's not James Harden good, you know? But like you can see, a lot of it has really good gathers on this stuff. And even still, like I said, he's got a decent floater. So let's go ahead and show you that. It's nothing crazy, but you can see that's why I gave it like an A-. It's not terrible. It's not great. Obviously, there's some variance to these as well. Like with anything that's not Trey Young, in my opinion, it has a lot of variance for that matter. But either way, I'd like to think it was still a pretty good package. Overall, here's his X button as well. Decent, you know, nothing too crazy, but it's still solid overall. Good floater, good hop. Good Euro, all that stuff. Here's his hop dunk, as you can see. So that's also a really good animation. Like I said, just overall, it's a pretty good package. So let's show the James Harden one now. So let me go ahead and find Harden real quick. I might have changed his name to something else. Yeah, because I probably tried to dribble styles out again. So let me actually just go edit that real quick and I'll pull that up. All right, go figure. I guess Austin Reeves, the Reeves one had it anyway. But either way, we're going to load up the Harden that I just created right here. So again, Euro dunk, looking nasty. Look at that Euro. I mean, man, that deserves like an A+, A+. I think I actually did that, by the way, the double A+. But yeah, I mean, like, dude, the Harden Euro, I even screwed that up right there. I accidentally switched the ball hand last second. It still gives a really good animation. So this right here, in my opinion, if you like Euro dunks, James Harden is the one for you, bro. This is so good. But like I said, it does lack a little bit in other categories. Like, and I'm really trying to get like the perfect animations on this stuff because I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I'm very new to trying to do it in this game, trying to dribble into everything, understand the timing of where my dribble is gonna get me to and stuff. But yeah, I mean, overall, the James Harden Euro, definitely solid. I would like to think it's worth running, but I'm gonna also show you LaMelo because I think LaMelo is gonna be really good one too. But yeah, I mean, there's like the perfect Harden animation. You want to just hold your left stick to the opposite of where your ball hand is driving. So like right here, you want to hold it to the right. I accidentally, you know, did it from way too far out right there, so that's what will happen, obviously. But yeah, I mean, like, and you can see I'm screwing it up a lot, but the thought still counts. It's a really good animation. You lab it out properly, you're gonna figure it out really good. All right, so for the LaMelo Ball, I'd like to think this is one of the better floater animations. You can see, like I said though, so much variance on these animations, and I'm not gonna lie, as an overall whole, I think layups themselves, I'm not a huge fan of, but it's still the thought that counts as far as like the animations being there. But you saw the one before that was definitely a good animation. That one right there had a little bit of gather to it. Like I said, they definitely vary. But what's also nice about LaMelo Ball is his Euro has this behind the back animation right here. And I'd like to think that's going to be pretty good in situational use. Like if someone is on your left hand, let's say for instance, as you drive right there, boom, just switching it over to the right hand quickly like that and behind your back, I think is actually a very good animation. So I'd like to think LaMelo, like I said, is a pretty decent animation to be had between the Euros, the floaters, the X button and stuff like that as well. So here's the thing, his X button is a little bit there's some variance to it. So like, for instance, you can see right there, that's a bad animation in my opinion. That little underhand nonsense that he does, not exactly the best. But then you can see there's his X button right there too. So again, variance with layups. It's really frustrating, but it is what it is, you know. Pro play. We got 9,000 new animations. They like to throw like 40 of them into one layup package. So, you know, but again, there's his X button again. So sometimes he does a little scoop, sometimes he doesn't, you know. It is what it is. And then here's his scooper as well. Decent overall. So anyway, that's what we got for the wings. Let's go ahead and get to the bigs now. This is going to be a little bit more detailed because, like I said, there's about 4 of them that are actually good. So here, I'll take you guys through it live format right here. So I'm on the Nuggets with the bigs. We got a lot of them in this one. So like, tried Randall out. He was awful. We'll start with Giannis. Why not? So Giannis's X button, pretty solid overall. Again, I have their dribble styles on too, so I kind of have to deal with that. If they had duplicated animations, like for instance, I was testing the bigs for the dribble styles. Giannis has his own dribble style and his own layups, so you know that's something that I got to deal with a little bit. It is what it is. So I gave him an A- for his X button lays. I don't think that's that terrible, especially if you compare it to the other bigs. Like you're gonna see a lot of them I have like a B on, because I mean Jokic and Sabonis are kind of ugly when it comes to the X buttons. Vucevic was okay, but as you can see, Giannis X button, I think is superior to every one of the bigs. And Giannis actually has dropped his requirement from 87 last year to 80 now in this year's game. That's actually like a big difference in my opinion. But anyway, enough of his X button. I want to show you what stands out as terrible on him. Watch this spin dunk right here. So every time, I'm telling y'all, every time he does that, I can't get a dunk on the spin ever for that matter either. Like, I'm talking every single time he does that little stutter step like gather right there. So it's overall not my favorite package because that is unusable. He's got a really good Euro right here, as you can see though. Like good distance, good gather on it and everything like that in my opinion. The floater I gave a B because it's really not great. Like, I mean, it's okay. I mean, that's a good animation, but the variance on it again can be very problematic. But when you compare it to the other bigs that we're going to showcase, I really don't think they're that good. Honestly, I think like I kind of graded on a little bit of a curve a little bit where honestly Giannis's floater compared to the other wings, it's actually pretty decent and good, but when you compare it to like Vucevic and Jokic, I just don't think it compares. So let's go ahead and load up Jokic real quick. He had a really good consistent floater animation that I was a huge fan of. His dribble style is awful though, so we'll have to kind of work our way in here properly, but as you can see, he's got a really good animation that has no variance on it whatsoever. You can go right, you can go left. I'm a big fan of this. It was also good last year too. I did that from way too close for that matter on that one. That was my user error fault. But it was a really good animation last year in terms of it gave the exact same animations. It's just Sabonis was even more broken. So Jokic just wasn't really utilized in my opinion quite as much. But as you can see, that little kind of gather, float, hop, if you will, man, it's so good and it works from every angle. So it's not the Sabonis from last year in terms of the range, you know, and again, I took way too long to do that, but either way, you get what I'm saying. It's not Sabonis in terms of the range from last year, but it's still very good. I also gave it an A for the scoop. Let's go ahead and show that real quick. So Jokic scoop, I'd like to think was also pretty good, as you can see. Nice, quick, tight. It's not anything that's like getting way out there or anything, but hey, I'd like to think that's a pretty good animation. But anyway, let's move along. Let's go to Vucevic. I think it's a very close comparison as far as comparing that to Jokic. So the only thing I really had better for Vooch was his X button lay. So like that right there, in my opinion, is better than the Jokic one that we showed as well. But it's still not great, but it's decent, you know? I mean, I gave it an A-, but it really, Vooch had a... I'll go back to the screen in a second, but I said it had anywhere from a B to an A-. Sometimes it varies. I'd like to think this is one of the biggest variances of the X button lays. Like that right there is an X button, fellas. That's not a Euro. So I don't know. It's tough, man. You know, he's got a lot of variance as far as the animations that he gets to pop off. But let's go ahead and show what's actually great about Vucevic now, the floater. So I'd like to think it's on par with Jokic. This is about the exact same type of range and animation in my opinion. I don't really remember off the top of my head if it has the same kind of if it gets the same animation to both sides of like handness, if you will. But look at that. I mean, man, it's like the Trey Young floater, but just on bigs instead. Anyway, yeah, one more look at the ball hand one. So I'd like to think that's a pretty solid animation, you know, nice little push shot. Let's go to the right with it now. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to play out. So that's still a decent float animation as well. Like I said, as far as which one's superior, and again, freaking dribble style, man, I tell you what, it's really screwing me over. But yeah, as far as which one's superior, it's probably Jokic in terms of the floater. I probably could have gave Jokic like an A+, honestly, because I think it's on par with like probably the best float animation in the game, honestly. But yeah, Vooch, it's okay. I'd like to think this is also good. But yeah, definitely some variance in terms of the float. So it probably doesn't deserve that A+ like I gave it, to be honest. But when it's at its best, it looks pretty good. So overall, I'd say Jokic is the best. We still have to show you Sabonis, so I'll go ahead and do that as well real quick. So with Sabonis, I'd like to think the float was still pretty good. I gave it an A, and as you can see, like, that's actually still a pretty good animation. It's not the same as what it was last year by any means, and it doesn't even try to be like the same it was last year. I mean, last year it just flicked it up straight in the air, like from literally almost barely inside the 3-point line. As you can see, you know, again, variance, bro. I really wish that I could give you guys just the best animations and that's it. But hey, I mean, I'm also here to display this as a truthful display to you guys, and that sometimes it's not exactly perfect, but that's what makes Trey Young and Jokic so good, is that they always are. So I'd like to think those are the two best layup packages that I found so far. And again, the requirements, not too crazy on them. You go 80 layup, you'll get it on both builds. And same goes for LaMelo too. But anyway, that is the same as Sabonis last year. I'll tell you that much. You get that bad float animation. Oh my God. That actually just sparked it, because I actually hadn't even seen that yet. But anyway, besides that, Sabonis, what it probably has on Jokic is as an overall collective layup package, like the Euro right there, really good. The scoop was still an A-, so it's not quite as good as Jokic as far as I tacked it up, but I mean, as you can see, it's still pretty quick and tight right there as well. I gave it a B as far as its X button lay. You can see, I mean, it's pretty trash, so it is what it is. So again, I'll go back to the grades here, and you can just kind of gauge this how you like. So yeah, this is our full overview again. I'd like to think a lot of this translates. I probably, for the sake of just what's fair to the video though, let's go ahead and move that float to an A. I think it's on par with Sabonis. It has a better peak and like ceiling than Sabonis, but Sabonis is a little bit more consistent, and overall, it's probably a better layup package than Vucevic. I think Vooch is only a 75 requirement. Again, you probably want to fact check some of these as well on your own, but these are my best estimates. I'm pretty sure Jokic is either 78 or 79. You can get it with 80, obviously. Giannis is 80. I know LaMelo is 80. Book was like 87, not worth. Harden's like 82 or 83. Kobe's probably not worth either, and Levine was like 82 as well. Trey, 80. I mean, a lot of these I know off the top of my head, and that's what we're pretty much explaining to you. So I know it's a little bit makeshift, but hey, you know, it's day 0, so I'm here to get you guys as well equipped for your build as you possibly can and understand what ratings you want to go for. So I think 80 layup, definitely worth, in my opinion, between any height, whether it's the wings, the guards, or the bigs, for LaMelo, for Trey Young, and for Jokic as well. So anyway, that's all video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all that good stuff. Like always, try to one to 3,000 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put Lay in the comments, start supporting me all the way through. And I really appreciate if you guys could drop a like. This took the most time of any video I've done so far in this early content, because man, it's so many things being compiled, and I'm not doing it just one time. I'm doing it like 5 times for every single one of these things. And even then, it still has so much variance that it's a little bit hard to track. So this video right here was extremely hard to put together, but I appreciate you guys for watching, and I appreciate that you've made it this far, and I hope this helps you with your build, at least in some regard, in terms of trying to plan for what you want to set yours up for. But anyway, that's all the video. I hope you all enjoyed. None of that. Take it easy, man. Peace.